Hi, this is Kendra from Pencil and Pigment, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about the pros and cons of the Schmincke Horadam Aquarell. Now, this is produced in Germany, and it started in 1881 when two chemists, Josef Horadam and Hermann Schmincke, began their quest to sort of make great colors for artists, and founded the Schmincke factory. And it took about 11 years to develop and improve their watercolor line, and in 1892 received its first Prussian patent. So we are going to talk about this set. I have the 36 set, plus I have two metallics. I have their silver and I have their gold. So this is the set I am familiar with. If you have a 24 or a 48, I mean, take this with a grain of salt. A lot of this will apply. But you still may have to do some additional research. I have had this set for 5 years. What I did was, on Amazon, I made an Amazon wish list. And in that wish list, I watched this price. So this retails for about $220, $221 US. And I waited and waited, and the price had dropped to about $150 from a different seller at the time. And I got this shipped to me, had to sign for it. I would say that's probably the best way to do this, because that is one of the cons. So for these little half pans, because all the pigments are different and cobalts cost more, I will link a video as to why. They range from about $7.50 each to almost $14 each to replace. So if you have a student grade pan set and you're slowly changing out the pans for artist grade, that is something to be cognizant of because of different pigments. Some are hard to source, some are hard to make. There is a price difference, and that's how they range. The tubes for the 15 milliliter range from about $14.50 to about $24.50. Same thing with the pigments. Some are hard to make, some are hard to get. So the limited set options are kind of pricey. There isn't a huge variety of those. To be transparent about the different pigments in this set, I'm going to move this off to the side, and we are going to play with 4 of the colors. Some of the colors are opaque, some are semi-opaque, some are semi-transparent, some are fully transparent, and some are granulating. Now in my 36 set, I have 4 granulating colors, and that's what I'm going to play with. The ultramarine violet, which is right here, my manganese violet, Indian red, and this is the, gosh, this is the olive, the cobalt green dark. Cobalt green dark. All 4 of these are granulating. So I'm going to demo these 4 in this 36 set while I talk to you, and hopefully I'll have time to show you a little bit of the metallics I have. Now, as far as light fastness, all of these have really good light fastness, except for my absolute favorite shade of indigo. Most of these are listed as a 4 to 5 light fast range. The indigo has only 2 stars. So that is something you're going to want to pay attention to. You may want to get, if that is a color you use a lot of. I have the Daniel Smith. It's a mixture with black to make it more light fast. And I don't mix it with anything else because it is a hue, not a pure pigment. There's 2 colors in there. Now, the same goes for Prussian. Prussian blue is a difficult one. It's chemically impossible for that one to stay stable, and it's listed as 4 out of 5 stars. I run an independent test because what happens with that color is once you put it in the sun, it fades, and sometimes if you pull it back out right away, it will get some of the color back. If you pull it back out within a couple weeks, it is a very chemically just bizarre pigment that really does its own thing. Apologies there. So run some independent tests. I will link, Kimberly Crick is a great YouTube creator that really dives into each pigment color code and talks in depth about those, but she independently tested those. I have a lot of trouble doing that where I live because we don't get a lot of sunshine. We have all the fog and all the moisture and all the rain. So it is hard for me to test products for light fastness. Now there's 179 colors. 152 have a 4 or 5 light fast number. These are artist grade. Can you see that? It's so sparkly and pearlescent. I don't know if you can see that. I apologize. Silver's a tough one. You kind of need to see it in hand. There is a dot card you can buy that has 142 colors. It's $32. I will link that as well in the description box if you are interested. And these two metallics, they have 4 and 5 stars, so they have excellent light fastness as well. And I use these for gifts when I am doing weddings, baby showers, things like that. So these are the reason I would recommend trying these or buying a couple is because they're so consistent. They're so reliable. They are so vibrant. They're not chalky. They dilute well. They thicken up well. They blend well. They blend well with each other. They blend well with every brand of watercolor that I have tried them with, from Winsor & Newton to Roman Schmalz to Sennelier. Every single brand, Maramu, all of them blend really, really well with this set. I've never had core. All of them blend so well with these watercolors. They're so reliable that I can literally try them for any artist creator challenge, and I know they're going to be a success and work really well, and I'm going to get my desired effect. Yeah, so they celebrated, I think they're around 130 years of the Horadam watercolor line. Now, I paint small, so having little tiny pans and things like this work well for me. They have these super limited edition, super granulating tube mixtures. If you are into hyperrealism, you might not be into granulation because it's really, really hard to sort of control this for what you're working on. I use granulating colors for texture. I find it very, very helpful. I did a watercolor challenge where I used them for dinosaurs as sort of their skin, and I will link that watercolor tour if you're interested. Those have high light fastness ratings. I actually don't buy super granulating mixtures like that. I mix and make my own. So let's get this on camera here, because I like to have the independent color and then I can control who has more of what within the mixture. I like having the control. And you can make your own. I have a few videos where I link some how-to recipes to make your own light fast granulating mixtures if that's something you are interested in. But you absolutely can make your own with these paints. These paints are very, very beautiful, and I'm using the Indian red. That was the ultramarine violet. Now I'm going to use the Indian red with the cobalt green. And you can get really, really cool granulating watercolor mixtures. I am using a cold press, so there is additional texture. If you have very, very hard water where you live, distilled water can reduce the granulation. If you live in a very humid climate or a very dry climate, you can add a drop of vegetable glycerin into the pan before drying to help retain moisture. If you live in a humid, high moisture climate like I do, let them fully dry. Don't store them in their case. These come in a fold-in, big, huge black metal case. The excess water can get moldy. I have had trouble with my ivory black. This is my ivory black right here. That is the only one I've had that's had mold. I will link the videos about me dealing with the mold with some of my watercolors, and I use isopropyl alcohol and it has cleared it right up, and it has been fine ever since. What else should I say? Yeah, I'm not really impressed with their metal tin. Mine is kind of wonky, and it was wonky since I got it. So, and I've seen other creators who have the same tin. It's the 48 color tin that holds the 36, so you can add another row. It's just, it doesn't close all the way. It gets really weird. It's just not my favorite. So, again, I don't even store it in anything. Mine has to sit out with wax paper on top so it can fully dry because of the mold. Here are what the granulating colors look like. Here are sort of, you know, a little bit of the metallics. It's very, very beautiful, rich, vibrant. I think they're worth the price. I would say you probably don't need a 36 set. Get a warm, cool red, get a warm, cool yellow, get a warm, cool blue. And I will link some of my color theory videos to help explain that for mixing. And you could get by on probably 10 colors and have a really rich, vibrant set that does all this itself. So I hope this video helps. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.